Okay, I think we're being recorded. So
Perfect, perfect. I'll give a quick intro. Welcome, guys, to our, I don't know, weekly or bi-weekly community call. Looks like we got one topic and they're still coming up. See, there's one being typed down the top of the list. Who had the 2-2 RC? I can also run with this, but was there?
I think I put it down, but just a recap of Lawrence's post in the channel. The RC2 is out. The release notes for that are published. And I think we're planning on the actual 2.2 cut on Friday, last I heard. So
Perfect.
knock on wood.
What's maybe this is a Lawrence question, unless you know, Nina. Like, what's the difference between what actually was RC2? Was it just the bug fix?
I think it has some of the ARM changes that Andy worked on. So we now have ARM support for our Envoy builds.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's what I thought as well. So Lawrence, I sent you and Andy a DM earlier today. That's why I was asking that. Okay, cool. And then Friday,
I think it was just
tentative date.
I think it was just a bug fix.
Context here. Yeah, thanks. So the RC1 we cut earlier, and we had some internal testing that we ran through. We probably should link to the RC. I'll put a link to the RC1. So the release notes for RC1 have the majority of the multi-arch changes. We cut an RC2 because we found a bug related to one of the major changes that enabled us to go to multi-arch, which is the transformations behavior with the new Rust formations as the default. So like I said, more of this is called out in the RC1 release notes, and then we're also putting together kind of a summary doc of those changes. But the main takeaway is that RC2 is out. That's more than likely going to be the release for the 2.2.0. And so any folks that are interested, that, we have a lot of features in here, like the note I called out in the Slack channel. A lot of work went into kind of the missing, what we call the missing API gateway features epic. So there's a lot of new functionality available. On the Envoy side, there's constant updates to Agent Gateway as well. And the big one, we've already called it out, but just to reiterate, one of the major changes in this release is that the Helm chart and API groups for Agent Gateway, kgateway with Agent Gateway, have been split out. We also have a migration guide for that. I linked to it in the Slack thread as well. And we'll put that on the release notes for the 2.2.0 cut. But yeah, so give it a try. ARM builds have been kind of one of the most requested changes. In fact, I linked to the issue as well in the Slack thread. I actually opened that issue over 5 years ago when it was still Blue Edge. So I think I'm going to go ahead and be able to close that, come full circle 5 years later. But yeah, so we have ARM support now officially for Envoy with kgateway. And yeah, that's basically it. There's a good summary of other issues there that have been closed, other features that have been added. But yeah, we're kind of doing our due diligence of kind of final testing, as well as we're going to prepare the release notes and hopefully a blog and things like that. But yeah, give RC2 a test drive if you are able to.
Yeah, exciting stuff, man. 5 years plus in the making, right? No more. I'll get distracted. Somebody able to admit those people. I don't know how to do it. Lawrence, you said something, and we can kind of move on in a second. You said this is potential promotion candidate for GA.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
this. Yeah, we haven't seen anything from the internal testing we've been doing that would hold it. So hopefully some of the community users here that are waiting on it can give it a shot. Let us know if there's anything big that we are missing. But I think all things, if things go well, right, we should be able to just promote this to 2.2.0 near the end of this week.
I love it. Yeah, we should think about 2.3 roadmap in the near future too. Maybe next meeting. Cool. Anything else, guys? Nina, Lawrence, on this topic? We good?
Yeah. One last thing I will call out, that 2.3.0 is a great call out. Someone in Slack was actually asking for that as well. So we don't have a great venue for that. So if folks are looking for things in 2.3.0, it would be great to just either open issues or call it out in Slack or call it out in this meeting, just so we can start getting a sense of what people are looking for.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm just gonna run down the list as originally it was. New features to call out. Obviously, we already touched on ARM. If there's some of the higher level topics that were added afterwards, just we can get them in. I'll just run it down. Allow adjusting DNS resolver config. Okay, so there's just a bunch of features that have gone in, or a bunch of PRs that have merged recently. Anything else we want to explicitly call out? Maybe Cloud Run is a good one, but
yeah, I think something to call out is not all of these are going to be in 2.2. Like I think the ARM stuff has like gone into 2.2, but a lot of these will be in the next release. So they're net new features.
sounds good. Sounds good. How is this? Sorry, I don't want to make this go. I'm just kind of curious. Omar, is Omar on the call? Is this on the back end? The Cloud Run support? Is that being added to the back end?
Yeah, that was added to the backend.
Okay. Yeah, it might be worth demoing that at some point, too. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Art, you got next topic around docs?
Hey, yes, yeah. So I mentioned it if any of you guys were also in the Agent Gateway community meetings, but we recently moved the documentation for like the Agent Gateway data plane deployed with kgateway controller from the kgateway.dev site over to the agentgateway.dev site. We were getting, like a lot of feedback of users, wanting to install Agent Gateway, so they naturally went to the Agent Gateway docs, and then it only had like the local binary. It didn't have the Kubernetes docs, and so those now live there. If you want to contribute to the documentation for like Agent Gateway that's being, managed by kgateway under the hood, it would be in the Agent Gateway org and the website repo there, which I also linked to. But yeah, otherwise the docs shouldn't really be any different than what they were on the kgateway site. They're just now there. Pretty similar look and feel. It's the same kind of Hugo Hextra theme and whatnot. But yeah, so this is the repo that you would contribute to it going forward. There are redirects in place, and I already removed the content from the kgateway.dev repo, just so people don't try to update it. I tried to leave some comments on a few PRs that were maybe still in flux in the kgateway side, that might have been touching some of the files that are now in the Agent Gateway repo. So if you had that and have any questions, definitely let me know. I'm also happy to migrate those things over for you, which I mentioned in the comments, if it's impacted or not. But yeah, so that's where those docs will live moving forward.
Awesome. Any questions on that, guys? All right, sounds good. Looks like Danny, you got the next couple. Do we want to cancel next? Okay, all right, looks like that was addressed. Quickly review the meeting template info I had added here. Is that something? Where's the template stuff? Maybe I'm missing that. I was questioning you, Danny, and sorry, I was reading off the list. You know what? I see you talking on video. I don't hear audio. Maybe that's a me problem.
No, I'm not hearing anything either. So I do want to ask some question where Daniel is going to be come online. So Lawrence and Josh, I just pinned you about some issue I find yesterday regarding label selector not working for MCP backend. So it would be great if somebody can take a look. I don't think it's stop shipping, but it would be good to track that. I'm happy to open an issue too. My question though is, I'm trying to configure Agent Gateway as a agentic gateway backend, but also as a HTTP backend. Do we have any example that does that? Is that possible? Like, can I have agent gateway config, maybe HTTP on one port for legacy microservices, and then maybe another port for MCP, and then I have different backend object for that?
It definitely should be possible. I don't know if we have examples. If I'm just to let me reiterate it to make sure I understand. You're just saying like have the proxy be able to route to like AI, basically route AI traffic and non-AI traffic on the same proxy?
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, I have a backend that's serving MCP, but also serves traditional API. So I'm trying to see if I can configure one agent gateway, so I don't have to spin off another agent gateway for that. I assume it's possible. I just want to confirm that because it's different backend, if I understand, because the agent gateway has its own backend. And then I think the traditional microservice API has its old kgateway backend, if I understood correctly. And then I would have to configure the routes to point to the two different backend. I assume that's how it works. But yeah.
Yeah, it should definitely be possible. I think as long as you have like, I would assume you have different like matching criteria, like it's a different path or like it's a different something.
Port number, yeah, different port number. I'm thinking should be possible.
A port number on the front side. So
Yeah, on the front side, the port number. Yeah.
yeah, then you definitely can. This might be a good one to work through in Slack. But
Okay.
yeah, that definitely should be possible.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I would love to get it working.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Danny, is your mic back online? I think we just wrote back to the topic you had in mind. Going once, going twice. All right, let's circle back. Everyone's favorite corporate buzzword.
Press 1, 2.
There we go, man. I can hear you. How's it going?
1, 2. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why my audio keeps going to my phone instead of my AirPods. Hey, sorry about that. So really quick, I just wanted to touch on a couple things that I put on for today, just more of like organization stuff. So you see, if we go to January 27th, 2026, go to the top. All right, you see I put a host in there. So, so we know who the host is. And then you see in the topics, I say, host to assign next meeting's host. So join a meeting and we're like, okay, who's hosting this, right? So it's something that we just put as part of like the weekly assignment until we come up with some other better mechanism. And then the second bullet, I say review AIs from last meeting. This is something I do with some of their open source projects I'm involved in, where if you scroll down underneath the topics section, we have action items. So those are AIs. And that's just for whoever's scribing or we discuss, hey, take this as an action item, and we just have a name and what the action item is. And so we can just roll that over every meeting, right? Next meeting we have, the first thing we go through is the AIs, right? Someone said I'm going to do something, did they do it or not? If they didn't, we just roll it over again.
Yeah, any objections to this format? Seems pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, I mean, with the
There you
first
go.
bullet of sorry, Tim, with the first bullet of the host assigning next meeting's host, I mean, I'd like us to maybe come up with something more scheduled, but at least we walk away from this meeting knowing that we have someone assigned for the next meeting. So congratulations, Lawrence. I have a feeling you're going to be assigned quite a bit.
Any volunteers on host the next meeting? I kind of just did it ad hoc because I felt bad. I haven't done this in a while. Any takers?
Yeah, why don't you throw me on there?
All right, let's perfect. Oh, sorry. I forgot I was screen sharing, man. Okay, Lawrence, you're under no, I don't know how to delete this. So let's run with you down to run with this next time, Danian?
Yep.
Let's do it. Okay. So yeah, we got a new potential template here. I think
And-
this is completely fine to me.
Can we have the template at the top of the meeting notes so we can just copy and paste it?
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Good call.
But we can do that for the next meeting. We don't have to do it now.
Okay, there you go. You got an
Yeah.
action item already, man. Paste the template. Anything else on this this topic, Danny, you want to flag?
So
I
one
mean,
thing I
what,
want to, no, go ahead, Daniel.
yeah, what I was going to say, I mean, two things, just the mechanics of the meeting that I don't know who can control. Like, this is the only project, and again, this is just my perspective that I, as like a weekly meeting or whatever, an open community meeting where someone needs to like constantly approve changes to the notes along with admitting people into the meeting. Like, it just seems like it's unnecessary maintenance. So is there anyone that could give any feedback on why we're doing this?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Daniel, you are editor to the doc. I'm not sure why you have to approve. I think maybe you didn't assign yourself to the right ID, but you're showing as editor.
But so what owns this? Because this is Google Meets, right? Is this do we own this? Like, is Solo own this? Because we have to admit people too. Do we know how to fix that?
Oh, we purposely want to admit people because we've had spam issue in the past in the Istio community that we don't want auto admit people. I don't know if you guys know, like Istio project around a community meeting and there was some nasty thing happened. So we purposely do want to admit people manually and we want to kick people out. For some of you who don't have access to the doc, I can give you access. Art, I think you have access. I know you've been posting things, maybe just making sure you're in the right ID. Nina has access, Jenny, you are Tim, and we can definitely give you. Josh already have access. Lawrence, I'm going to add Lawrence and Tim.
I thought it was tied to the community kgateway group. Like if you're part of the community group in the kgateway, then you have access to the doc. But
Yeah, I'm not seeing that, but it's not a big deal. I mean,
yeah,
yeah. So if we're done with this topic, I do want to ask the release question. Is there anything else we want to discuss the logistical on this?
Yeah, Lynn, I guess I would just like to talk a little bit more like about the logistics and so I understand if there were some issues with the Istio meeting, but I mean, I've got to say, I'm like all the different meetings I've been part of in open source projects, it hasn't been an issue. I mean, are you against saying, hey, let's be permissive? And if for some reason we experience similar issues with this, with this meeting, that we could then go ahead and lock it down?
I think a lot of groups have experienced issues in the last year. Like the women's CNCF group also had an attack, so it's like.
And
okay.
it's
All right.
ugly and nasty when you hit those issues. I'd rather hit the admit button.
No.
Okay, so can we get back to the release if we are here? So Lawrence, I saw you close out the API feature, gateway feature gap issue. That's excellent. And that was 2 weeks ago. I think that's probably the most important impact feature for this upcoming release. So I just want to make sure we have documentation for this one, 12.9.10. I don't know if we do, because what I want to do is also contact marketing, make sure we have a series of blog highlighting some of the features of kgateway 2.2.
Yeah, so Lynn, that's actually one of the things that I was about to start like a thread somewhere to discuss that. So can I talk with you and then we can figure out who needs to be aware of what so that we can kind of get that blog or multiple blogs put together? That would be great.
I think it would be great because right now we are in kind of we want to continue drive more content on kgateway, like the work Danny is doing on the migration tool was very helpful. So we were able to publish some blog on that. But I feel like there's so many things we did on kgateway, and some of them might already been docked out, correct me if I'm wrong, but also it's good to generate some content around that too, because we do want to use this release to as a good vehicle to continue drive growth of the project.
Yeah, I'll message you in and let's coordinate there. Art, maybe you know better. I do think that some of these features are documented already.
Yeah, some of them probably are. I'm not sure about all of them though. I'll have to check.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Like, I think we can all collaborate on that, right? Because like,
Yeah.
So we can make sure that we have appropriate documentation and also appropriate coverage on the marketing side for that.
Yeah, so if we look at the 13 issue, by the way, I put a link in there if anybody wants to take a look. What would be the most impactful ones that we want to highlight when we do the release blog? Like, how do we prioritize? I think there's like 13 issues. How do we prioritize what is the most impactful one for the next few weeks if we are going to do some content around it?
I think that the ARM stuff is high priority. I think the OIDC support for the OIDC filter getting added is high. But yeah, just we can take this offline, Lynn. I can help too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want us to have a good plan and focus on high priority one first. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there's enough stuff to talk about for a minute, right? And we maybe don't need to fit it all in, right? Like in one all at once too, right? So
yeah, it can be a serious one, but for your release blog, we're coming up. It would be good to highlight like what's the big theme of the release, what are the cool things and new things that's impactful, and then we do expect some more technical detail blog for some of the interesting features.
Yeah, there's quite a few different things here, right? It's the agent gateway split, productizing that. Obviously, some of the other themes you talked about. So I think there's quite a bit of content here. Lynn, anything else you want to touch here? It seems like some potential for more offline conversation.
No, that's good. Yeah, I just want to bring this up for you guys to be aware, but I am excited about the release coming out soon.
Yeah, long overdue. Thanks for the patience, guys.
Yeah, I did hit an upgrade issue, by the way. I don't know if it's worth document, but apparently last Friday I had to ping a couple of people, and John and Lawrence find out it was because I was doing an upgrade and I couldn't get kgateway installed, the proxy spin-off properties properly. So
Lynn, that is an upgrade guide that already exists. I just couldn't link it to you because I was trying to cover plants for the ice storm. So, but I think we have the right coverage there.
okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't find the upgrade guide. Okay, maybe I'll look at it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lawrence, we should probably make that very apparent in the release notes.
Yeah, it should be in the release notes. And one of the things actually, like, came up separately, Art, I would actually be very curious to get your feedback on this, but like we used to in the old 1.x glue project, we used to have on the docs page upgrade guides. And that was like kind of a, an actual artifact that lived on the docs page that covered anything related to, an upgrade. And we don't necessarily have that now on the kgateway docs. And I think that would probably, like, rather than having a link, like, there obviously is use for having a markdown file in the repo that covers it. But I think it would be just as good, if not better, to have an actual upgrade guide that lives on the docs as well. I don't know if
Yeah,
we
I
want
totally agree because I wasn't looking at the repo. I was just looking at the doc. I didn't see the upgrade guide. I know you mentioned it, but I just didn't see it. I- So if you look at project like Istio, we definitely have it on the release note. A part of the release note has an upgrade note, and then we also have it. I think it's under the install section. There's a portion for upgrade.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. We have an upgrade doc in the, well, a guide in the doc set, but I don't think it's like specific for 2.1 to 2.2. So we probably just need to update the upgrade doc for like this particular release, let's say.
Yeah, there's something special because I don't think I hit this issue before when I upgrade. So I don't know if it's, I had to manually clean up something. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more offline, because I agree there's heavy implications here, especially with the agent gateway split. So we need to call that out. We're at the hour. I think we burned down this list. Anyone have anything they need to talk about here? I mean, I'm happy to stay over time, but just want to be conscious of the time here.
Tim, I think we have a question in the comments.
Good call. I was not even looking at this tab. I'm not entirely sure how to. Let's see. The problem we're seeing in contributors is a slash kind test. Oh, okay. So for the labeler, you want a slash test kind. Actually, are you still on the call? Do you mind giving some color here? Okay, that's fine too.
I think that's what they're asking for. I don't. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just didn't want people waiting for me to
Yeah.
read a message, right? Looks like we have a hand up. Yeah, go for it.
Hello everyone. So I was looking for the LFX project and I saw the project of around the chaos engineering or the fault injection plugin. So I just needed some more details so that I can finalize my plan according to. So what are the main scope that we plan to use the fault injection? Is it only the gateway or all the routes and all that we are planning to have this feature on?
Yeah, do you mind just throwing a link to that GitHub issue in the comments?
Yes, sure. Just a second.
Perfect. It looks like Omar maybe beat him to it. In terms of that other comment around a slash test kind, I'm down. Any objections? People think that's worthwhile? Let's do it.
I think we should add that. Yeah.
Sounds good. The only thing is that that kind of stuff, it lives in a separate repository from kgateway. So we'll need to update that instead of it. I'm sure I could find a labeler. I don't remember, whatever I vibe coded. Here, I'll just send a link to that in chat.
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, Nina, do you have something?
No, I think I commented on the Slack thread where it also lived, but we can link in the meeting as well. So I think there's a PR up right now to add the test label, but it doesn't actually do what we want because
Got it. Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, we should probably respond back to that. Cool. Thanks for throwing a link down there. Anything else, guys? Just a quick heads up, some of us at Solar are going to be on site next week. So if it's a little slow in the CNCF Slack channel, that's the most likely reason.
There was a question about the in fault injections. What was the question again? Sorry.
Oh yes, basically I was asking, I was finalizing my plan and all. I was asking about whether what will be the scope of our fault injection, whether we apply it on the routes or on the gateway, and where do we attach it, and what are those, the main targets that we intend to use it.
That's a good question. I'm not sure, to be honest, to where it would attach. Anyone have any ideas?
I think we'll need a design doc for it. I think that's part of the PR, like the issue, like write up is like part of the issue is creating a design doc with the different trade-offs.
That makes sense. All right, anything else?
Nothing for now from my side.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, I got lost in tabs trying to find the mute button. Yeah, we're a bit over, guys. Let's call it unless there's anything else. For some of the release stuff, yeah, we should talk in Slack. For 2.3 roadmap, I think that would be a good potential item for next week's agenda. In addition to some of the stuff that Danny mentioned around templating. Cool. Anything else, guys? Do we want to call it?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
That's good.
All right, let's call it. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.